Welcome back to Moon Day Messages. Thank you guys for being here. Oh my god, I am going through a lot of interesting tests right now, which I know are connected to my next level. I'm going to break it down for you later in the video because I think it might be helpful for you to start seeing your own patternings and what circumstances and situations might show up in your life repeatedly before something else happens. So I want you to be able to realize your own patterning of like maybe before a manifestation something shows up and it's always the same time. For me, it's like I'm usually getting a little bit under the weather just before a manifestation comes through. I had a client that went through a lot of purging when it comes to tears, like having to feel through a wave of sadness before her manifestations comes in. So maybe this will shift you into the right understandings of what your pattern might be. Okay. But first of all, welcome to this energy. I am filming this a few days prior, but this energy is effective when this video comes up, which is also the same day as the new moon in Cancer. So it's a very potent energy based on more things than just the human design transit. But before we go into the session, the signs that this message is for you are showing up on the screen right now. We have 222, we have 000, and we have keys and bikini. Very interesting signs. It is always for me connected to either me seeing these signs myself or them being connected to something that I see being a very pivotal part of my current situation that I'm dealing with. And that's the case today. The number sequences are the 222 I saw myself, the 000 I did not, but it came to me as a sign. But keys and bikini are very much signs connected to my current test. So, but I will go into this later in the video, like said, but is you really want to stay for this. Okay, so the sun moves into gate 52, which is the gate of inaction or the gate of stillness. So it is an energy that urges us to be patient. It is an energy that urges us once again to trust in divine timing. And the themes are stillness and contemplation and really seeing the value in pausing to achieve clarity and focus. Pausing to surrender to what is, to for the clarity to come in, for you to surrender to what is and purge what needs to purge so that there's space for the clarity to land. It's an importance of, like, the importance here is in a calm and the ability to remain still and again trust divine timing. And then it is also very much connected to true action and understanding that true action can only be effective from a place of stillness, where decisions are made with clarity, intention, rather than from a state of reactivity and haste. So I am a Leo sun, a Sagittarius rising, and I have my Mars in Aries. I have a lot of fire in my chart. All of my big three are masculine signs. So I'm very action reactionary in general. Like I do see me feeling that things will only change when I take action, which is also to my detriment, because sometimes we need to surrender and sometimes we need to be still and not doing anything and let things just play out. But with that fire energy that I have, and then also again my big three being masculine energy, it is one of the most difficult lessons for me to not do anything and just be patient and let things play out, because my mind starts racing when I do that, right? So this is a very interesting energy, and why I think it is no coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidences, that I am filming this specifically today and now, after, because I'm supposed to be by the beach right now. I'm still wearing my bikini. I'm supposed to be by the beach by now. I'm going to go into explaining why I'm not in a moment. But I would not record this video right now if everything like went by the plan, like by my plan, right? So what happened, okay, let me start here. What came through while I was channeling was pay attention to tests and look out for synchronicities. These are like the two big things that came through while I was channeling. And that led me to be like, okay, let me actually share my story and what is going on with my life right now, because the tests are testing, let me tell you. And it is very interesting and very much connected to divine timing and needing to have patience. So that's why I want to share this with you. So I am in a transition right now. If you follow me on Instagram, and you might have watched my story, you know that I am applying for a new passport right now, and that is what makes me being pushed into having more patience. 2 weeks ago, I realized that I need to apply for a new passport for reasons that I don't want to share yet, but I am going to eventually. But I need to apply for a new passport, and I started the process by like reaching out to the embassy here in Indonesia and figuring out what needs to happen for me to be able to do that, to apply for my German passport from Indonesia, from Bali, right? Turns out it takes much longer than I anticipated, and then I wasn't even able to start the process yet, because there were several documents that I need to prove that I'm valid to get one. So I have a German passport and a German citizenship because I was born in Germany, but then I was born to a German mother and an Italian father, and therefore also have an Italian citizenship as from birth. But I didn't know that. I thought that I gained my Italian citizenship when I was 18, when I applied to get my Italian passport, because I wanted to use my father's name, which never ended up happening. But I just got the new passport, and I thought this was the moment when I got my citizenship. So that's what I said to the people responsible in Indonesia, and then they told me that that means that I need two different documents proving that I was allowed to have both citizenships. So I was trying to figure out where to get these documents, yada yada yada. 2 weeks later, nothing happened. I couldn't figure it out. And then they helped me out, like the people from Indonesia, from the German embassy, helped me out to figure out that I actually got the citizenship since birth, and therefore we don't need these documents anymore. And the other documents they already got, or I had them, and then we were able to start the process. So I was going there, and then I was able to start the process, which was 2 days ago. 2 days ago? Yeah, I think 2 days ago. But like, it took 2 weeks for me to even get to that point. Several phone calls, so many different emails, me writing several people, including family, to gather the documents that I needed, needing to wait for them to reply. Then also because different time zones, so I couldn't even get a reply in a timely manner for when it comes to how urgent it felt for me to be. So like, I was really pushed into just surrendering into, no, the process is not going to start before it is divine timing, because also I already knew even with an express it would take 5 to 10 weeks to get this new passport, whereas I thought it was maybe like a month or so, or like 6 weeks or so. So that meant that it takes like so much longer than I anticipated for the plans that I have, that I'm not ready to share it with you. So I'm just sharing that to show you, because what I realized for me is like, I'm a person that is usually not necessarily that patient, but I have been tested in becoming more patient throughout the last, I'd said, year, in like different ways, in relationship stuff, in friendship stuff, in bureaucracy, legalities, in my career, like in so many, like in small things, personal life stuff as well. So I feel like I have gained so much patience already that I was handling it very well. No, or knowing that I didn't even know when the actual process of applying for that passport would happen. So there was no way of me knowing when I would even get the passport. So that also put everything else on hold when it comes to like the plan that I'm having. So there were so many things that really, pushed brakes on everything that I wanted to get into. So that was really interesting. There was no way of me knowing that eventually after 2 weeks I will be able to start the process with the passport. It could have taken like even 2 more weeks if it didn't turn out the way it did. And I think it was because I just surrendered to it. I let it go. I didn't overthink it. I applied to every email as soon as I saw it. Like I did everything that was in my power to do. And then that helped me to be like, okay, and now it's on you, And like I talked to my ancestors and my spirit guides and God, and I was like, now it's on you. Like the ball is in your field. And when there's a new email for me to apply, the ball is in my field, and I will do my part, and I will, figure out what to do. And that practical process just showed me very much of like how much faster the time actually goes by if you let it go instead of overthinking it and questioning if you said everything correctly in that email, and why you have not yet gotten a reply 3 days after you sent the last email. But just like going by divine timing and just really reacting in the moment when it was really necessary, instead of pushing myself into a not regulated nervous system by questioning why everything is taking so long or whatever. So that is what I wanted to share. And then also, why am I not at the beach but actually sitting here filming this video for you guys, which I plan to do tomorrow, is because I was ready to go. I had MJ in her carrier around me already. I sat on my scooter, but my scooter is not like, I do not turn it on with an actual like physical key, but like a little remote. And usually the key only has to be close enough to the system and the scooter to recognize that it's close enough for me to be able to turn the knob to turn it on. I don't even need to click the remote, right? So I got to the scooter, I sat down, I turned the knob, it turned on, but the scooter just wouldn't start. And I already put my key in my bag inside the seat of the scooter, because that's usually what I do, because the signal is close enough for me to still navigate the scooter with the knob instead of needing the key, since I don't need the key anyways. But there's no function to the key but, the remote being the key, and therefore the scooter knows that it can start safely. But then I turned it off and wanted to turn it on again, because that usually solves the problem of me not being able to like actually start the ignition of it. But then I turned it off and then it wouldn't turn on again, because maybe it's the battery in the remote of the key. I don't know what it is. Well, I ended up sitting there having my keys, my wallet, my bank card, and some other stuff in my scooter, which meant I can't move the scooter because I can't turn it on, but I also can't get back home into my place where I'm back in, because I don't have the key either, because it's like attached to the key for my scooter, because I don't want to have two or several keys. Like I always put it all together. And then the guy that I'm renting the scooter from, I contacted him. He said he will be there in 20 minutes. An hour later, he was still not there, which was in the middle of the day, 12 p.m. So in Bali, super, super hot, like being in the middle of the sun, MJ being outside with me as well, being sweaty. But then when you stand in the shadow, this is where the mosquitoes are. So I got bitten a million times on my legs because I was wearing shorts. And sweaty as hell, dehydrated at that point probably, and annoyed that it takes so long, right? And then finally the scooter guy came, but he apparently did not bring the correct master key, so he was also not able to open my scooter. And they were trying to just like lift up the seat enough to be able to like get my little fanny pack out where the key is in, which they tried for several minutes, which also didn't work out. So I was still outside. By that time, I called my cleaning lady to ask her if she would be able to drop by to bring the second key, which would also take her about an hour, but that's what she did, and she was on the way. So I ended up going back into my villa at some point when I got the key. My scooter is still outside. My keys and my wallets are still in there. I do not know when this will be solved. The scooter guy had to go back and get hopefully the right master key and then come back. He still hasn't come back, so I don't know how much longer it's going to take. And all of that just reminded me again so much of like, we really do not have the control around when things are supposed to happen. We can speed it up by doing our part, by taking aligned actions, by like deprogramming the shit and reacting differently to triggers so that we build new neural pathways, by regulating our nervous system, and all of these amazing things that I'm doing for myself and I do help my clients with. But at the end of the day, if things are not supposed to happen yet, because of reasons that you don't even understand yet, with the wisdom and the knowledge that you have and the experience that you have right now, it will not happen. And you have to live with it. You have to find a way to be okay with that. And I was just like, I guess I was not supposed to be by the beach today. And I guess I was not supposed to, have the passport earlier than it is. So I realized that right before my manifestation drops in, I'm either getting, a little bit sick. Okay, so that was a moment when the scooter guy wrote me a message and saying that he's back with a different scooter that I can use for now, and he got my bag out of the other scooter that he's taking now to figure out what the problem is with that scooter. So what I was saying was, I realized that I am when my manifestation is about to drop in, I either get a little bit under the weather, I get sick, or I'm really, really being tested in what is connected to the manifestation. So in this time, a lot of patience, a lot of also just like urgency that I'm feeling towards some things, and just needing to realize that maybe it's not the right time yet for them to happen right in this moment, because there are other things at play that I am not aware of yet that still need to play out, or there are other people that are connected to that manifestation that maybe are not ready yet because they have to go through their lessons first, or whatever it is, right? I am realizing more and more how important divine timing really is, and how it sometimes is not even connected to you, but connected to the people that are playing a role, a part in that manifestation. And that I don't even want it to happen right now if that means that these people are not fully ready yet, or quite frankly, I am not fully ready yet either. Like, there are still lessons that I need to learn, or there are still tests that I have to pass, to what that that are connected to blockages and blocks in general, energetic, physical, spiritual, that I have overcome yet already, that I have overcome. But since I needed to overcome these blocks for that manifestation to come closer, right before that manifestation lands, I need to be tested in these blocks again to really see if I really overcame them, or if I would back down when the carrot that is being tangled in front of me is even juicier than the last one. Are you following what I'm trying to say? Like, I need to be tested again to see if I really have embodied what I need to embody in order to be a match to that manifestation. So why am I sharing all of this? Is because this gate is happening in the root center. This energy that we're dealing with this week is happening in the root center, which is the center of security, where we feel safe, or where we feel the lack of feeling safe, where we feel pressure. It's a pressure center. So all of that is connected to probably things that you are dealing with right now, where you are being called to be patient, where you are being called to be in stillness, where you are being called to be in contemplation, to reach clarity so that you can react to the things that you are presented with in a different light, in a different way that is closer to the embodiment of the person that you need to be, so that you are matching the frequency of the thing that you're calling in. So we are all going through this, and I really feel like it is no coincidence again that I am now sitting here filming this video so that I have more clarity around what is to come in the next week, because for me, this energy while filming it right now is still 4 days away. When you're watching it, it is in full effect. For me, in my process right now, to just really understand, like, it is about stillness, it is about these things. Like, you need to be prepared, you need to be able to film these videos ahead of time so people can find them in a good time, so that I can also work around the algorithm of YouTube and all of that. So like, I'm just like seeing how everything right now is connected, and I'm sure when you are following my content and you're following me, then these things happen to you as well, and these are things that you are believing in as well, and you have had a situation like this before. And I just, with my experience right now that I'm going through, I just want to remind you that you know, like, we're all going through the same shit, we're all going through the same tests, we're all going through the same thing that is connected to our manifestation, and that is uncomfortable, and we don't want to do this, and we don't want to be patient, and we just want it to be here right now, for you to realize that you're not alone in this, okay? And we have so much coming for us this summer. It is so much more and better energy already, but even as from July, compared to the first 6 months of this year, which were a lot of pausing, a lot of stillness, a lot of, you know, energy, that, or even detours and pivots and bigger tests. And now it's like the last parts that we are purging before we move into like this next phase that already has, like, that next version of us already has that manifestation, and you're just about to become that person. Okay, so what else came through while I was channeling was that you're not just needing to like look out and pay attention to the tests that you're receiving right now, but also look for the synchronicities, like angel numbers, but also people talking about, you know, the topics that are connected to your manifestation. The movies that you're watching, the series, the TikTok videos, is someone saying something that is connected to your manifestation. These are all synchronicities to show you that it is happening, that your team, your spirit team, is working on it, and they are sending you like tests, sending you signs and synchronicities like this through other people, through things that you see, through videos like this, through movies, through conversations that you overhear, or whatever, to assure you that they're still working on it. And you need to start to see these synchronicities in life if you haven't yet, or this is your reminder that keep doing it. Look for the synchronicities, be open for them to come into your life, to show you that things are actually moving forward, even though you don't see it happening in the physical. Okay. And then what I also heard was you need to feel it to heal it. I feel like some of you are actually avoiding feelings that are coming up for you right now, because you need to purge these exact feelings at this exact time so that your manifestation can come in, because you're blocking that manifestation to come in because you physically and emotionally hold on to these emotions that you avoid feeling because it feels so uncomfortable, and therefore it is sitting physically, even though it's energetically, but physically in your field, and is occupying the actual space where the manifestation wants to land into. So it can't land in there because you are occupying that space that is supposed to be for your manifestation with the emotion that is attached to experiences from your past, just because you don't want to feel them. Okay, so a few of you really need to allow yourself to feel the shit. Cry the shit out, scream it out, shake it out, but feel it is the most important thing. Just feel these feelings and allow your body to react to these feelings the way it needs to react in order to release these feelings, to make the space for your manifestation. Okay, so that is like, it was really time for you to do that. Okay, let's get into the oracle decks and see what they have to say today. What is it that this collective that I called in and manifested to watch this video needs to know right now, Spirit? What is it that they need to know so they have more clarity and understanding about the next steps to take, or what else is going to happen or needs to happen? What is it that this collective needs to know, Spirit? What is it this collective needs to know? One more shuffle, one more card, one more card. One more card, sure. Thank you. Okay, so Spirit has a lot to say. It was 3 cards that came out together, which is unexpected, speak it out, and overthinking. So I feel like you're overthinking something and you need to talk to the person that this topic that you're overthinking about is about or connected to, or just talk to a friend if it is just something that just concerns you and no one else. You will get unexpected clarity around it if you allow yourself to speak it out. Another way for some of you, maybe when it does not apply to someone else, you just need to talk it out with yourself. Like, just talk about it out loud instead of it just being in your head, or maybe record yourself or do a video. Because sometimes when we are actually using our words to put sentences together and make sense of what it is that is going on in our mind, what we usually do that for is someone else, so that they understand when we have a conversation what's going on. But if you do it for yourself, sometimes you get the clarity that you need and you don't even need someone else to say anything about it. But just the plain act of bringing these thoughts into sentences that would, cohesive sentences that would be understandable for someone else, you start understanding it yourself just as much and you get the clarity. Okay, because you are very connected right now and are able to channel what you need to channel. And to help you do that even more, sun codes, light codes, you need to be in the sun. It is summertime. Sit in the sun, meditate in the sun, journal in the sun, be still in the sun for unexpected clarity to come in and move away from this. Okay, and then we have role model, because I think that is much more connected to you stepping into the next version of yourself. Because on the bottom of the deck we have a reflector, which is the energy type that reflects back to other people what they are not capable of seeing themselves, by being a mirror to them, for example, by asking the right questions, or by just mirroring back with their presence and their energy so the people get their clarity. I feel like you are moving into getting into the new version of yourself and getting more clarity around that in general. And you might even moving into being a person that helps other people more and more. But I feel like that is just really much more connected to you becoming the role model that you are looking up to right now, even if it is not necessarily connected to career or to their status, but just like more of you being more sure about yourself, trusting yourself more, being then potentially being able to help other people with it. But I think it is more about you becoming that version of yourself right now. And that also connects very much with the divine timing of the gate that we are moving into, and not being reactive and acting out of haste, but with more clarity. When you allow yourself to go through that process, to then be able to receive the understanding and the clarity that you need to then eventually become that person, right? And it needs patience for that to happen, because it does not give you anything if you are in the moment and saying like, I want it now, I want it to be happening now. You might not energetically be able to hold what it means to be that person yet, what it means to be that person that has that manifestation yet. Okay, so you are being prepared for that to happen. So some of you need to actually talk to the person that this is connected to, or you need to speak it out and you need to allow yourself to receive the clarity that you need to receive. I am trying to get some sun in tomorrow when I am going to the gym. After that, I'm going to sit in the sun a little bit to like do that myself. I basically did this just before I started recording. I sent a voice message to someone that is connected to my manifestation and just really brought clarity to my thoughts and the things that came up for me because of the situation with the scooter and the passport and what is happening and how do I connect it to my situation, to my manifestation and all of that. So it's very interesting of how it comes out exactly that. And I guess this time I was the one that needed to be here to record that video. It needed to happen in this moment right now, today, instead of doing it tomorrow. I love that for me. I love that for you, because I know that you got something out of it as well, because it feels very potent. And I always know that we are connected, specifically the people that I call in to watch this video. So let me know how that made you feel. Let me know what comes up for you. Please like, comment, subscribe, send it to a person that could use this. I love seeing that the channel is growing. We have surpassed 150 subscribers, which is exciting. And I would obviously love to bring it even further than that. So I would appreciate your support so much in this. And I love you. Thank you for being here. And I see you next week.